Well, this is the start of the Beaver Dam Creek Trail here in Hillsville, Virginia. Sorry if it's bouncing up and down. I'm holding this in my hand while I'm walking, but what the Beaver Creek Dam is, it's a natural wildlife habitat, basically. Has food and water supply, and many plants and species here are on the protective list. And this is just one of the little overlooks. You can see more in the winter. Can't see much in the summertime. This trail is only about 2.5 miles, but it's not well known, not even to the citizens of Hillsville. If I was walking the other way, it would be kind of steep uphill, but the starting point at the other end is kind of hard to get to. Starting point at this end is actually right behind the new courthouse. And you can see those tall pines just in front of me on the other side of these little ones. That is the only patch of white pines left in Virginia, from what I've been told. What the sign says also. But anyway, I'll get some better pictures of those as soon as I get down there. I found this nice, neat little pathway going through all these little pines, and the deer and bear use this, and that is actually considered a wetland over there. It's not too wet right now, but that's what it is considered. Okay, here's one of those white pines that I was talking about. It's the only ones left here in Virginia, and these were actually planted in the 30s to be harvested until they were put on the endangered list. Here in Virginia, they're not on the endangered list nationally, but they are in Virginia. As you can see, this white pine is pretty big around. Probably take about 2 people, maybe 3, to wrap your arms around it. And honestly, well, I call those things grapevines. They grow up around the trees. I've actually never seen one that large. I actually see an eagle's nest. And this land over here used to be privately owned, and there's several old man-made structures around. And I'm getting into the mossy part of the trail. In some years it's a lot more moss than what we have now. Now this here is the creek, if you call it a creek, that this trail got its name from. This is the Beaver Creek. As you can see, like I said, there were some man-made structures here. And this land used to be owned back in the 20s by a gentleman named Carter. And these are just the hydraulic rams, I think. And they're just a remnant of the water system that the town of Hillsville used back then. Obviously, this creek used to be a lot higher than it is now. Also, I was talking about the pines, and they are what they call large white pines, and the remnants of one of the first and last early pine plantings in the state, dating to the 30s. Some pretty big trees. Well, I'm getting ready to come in the only city park or town park here in Hillsville, which is the Carter Pines Community Park. Let's take a look up here in this old building. An old water pump. Water's still in the well. I don't think I'd want to drink that. Well, like I said, this is the only town park here in Hillsville. There's where I just came from. And here's a grove of white pine trees. And the rest of the park. The trail continues on over behind Carillion and Mohawk Rubber. So, let's continue on down the trail. The portion of the trail I'm on now is actually called the Upper Beaver Dam Creek Trail. Originally, it was only the real short section that I just came off of, and this was completed in 2005. I've actually never been on this trail, well, the upper end, before. It's kind of strange. They have barbed wire fences on both sides of the trail. Property owners don't want people on their land. I can understand that. I've actually never seen a sign like this when I was out on the trail. Let's hope that the police enforcement don't get shots. Yeah, we did have a little rough, icy winter. I'm not surprised. I'm actually surprised there isn't more down over the trail. Yeah, the trail does have some weird sights. This actually looks like some kind of water pumping area. Or water, hell, I don't know. There's no sign to tell me what it is. Well, the trail is turned into some, it looks like pavement that has been crumbled up into gravel. It's actually pretty hard to walk on. Makes you want to twist your ankles. But you know, there is some beautiful scenery out here. And I have no clue why nobody uses this trail. There's there's white pines. Now this looks a little more like a creek. Beaver Dam Creek. It's actually about waist deep right there. As you can see, there's a bridge crossing the creek, and I can see the trail continuing on up there. So I got a little uphill portion coming.
The trail cuts through a gentleman's cow pasture, and they have these turnstiles in so his cattle cannot escape, and so people don't leave a gate open. Well, we are now leaving the private property and getting back on public property. We'd like to thank the gentleman for allowing the trail to go through his land. And I've been thinking I want to do a series of videos about the lesser known trails in Virginia. What do you think? Let me know. And the trail has lots of walkways and a few bridges to assist people in getting across the creeks and across normally wet areas. And as you can see, the creek is very clean and clear. I'm not sure if there's any trout or anything within the waterways. When I walked over this particular bridge, that stairs that we just came up had a bee's nest underneath the second stair, and once I stepped on it and vibrated that wood, I had bees swarming all over me. Luckily, didn't get stung. And if you have a trail that you would like to know a little more about, just let me know, and I will try to get out there and make a video of it. And don't forget to put your comments, questions, suggestions, complaints in down below, and don't forget to subscribe. In the meantime, happy trails.